My name is Chris Allen, C-H-R-I-S. I work for Diverse and Resilient as an HIV Prevention Program Coordinator.
My name is Hamm. I'm the Prevention Program Manager, also for Diverse and Resilient.
Now, there's a new test kit on the market where you can basically find out your HIV status within 20 minutes. Can you tell me the pros and cons of that test?
Yeah, there's a variety of different pros and cons. Some of the pros of the test are that it increases the access to HIV testing for the general population, and it can help decrease the stigma of getting HIV tested by having the test more available and open to everyone. Some of the cons about it is that the demographic that's affected by HIV the most may not have as much access to it because of the cost of the test, and depending on where the test is located inside of the different stores, some people may not be able to access it because of income. Some of the areas or zip codes in Milwaukee that are highest affected by HIV are some of the poorest poorest zip codes, and so the test costs about $45 depending on where you're getting it from, and so that can be a huge deterrent for some people who may have just had an incident or may have had risky incidents in the past. Another con is that the test is only good for detecting antibodies, which your body doesn't normally develop antibodies to fight HIV until 3 months after you've been infected, and you can still transmit HIV during that 3-month period. And so someone can get a negative result from the test even though they are HIV positive because they may have contracted HIV a month ago and still pass it on. However, they may get that false sense of security because they've gotten an HIV negative result with the OraQuick test.
So, Katie, will the test? So it doesn't sound like the test will reach the people who probably need to take the test. Is that correct?
Well, that we certainly can't say that for sure. That is a concern that we have. I think because the test is just now available, that's something that we will have to wait and see. The way that we're viewing it right now, though, is as if it were a tool that we have in our toolkit as a community. And so it will increase access to some individuals. Our fear is that, yes, because of some of the things that Chris described, that the folks that are hardest to reach because of stigma around their sexual orientation, because of stigma around HIV infection, that those individuals that we have a hard time reaching out to bring them in to get tested will not be the ones who are able to go into a pharmacy, ask a pharmacist to unlock the test, and pay the $45 to actually get the test to take home. We find that those folks that are highest risk are at highest risk for transmitting or contracting the infection are individuals who need a number of other supports. And so the pre-test counseling, the post-test counseling becomes so very important, because if we do test an individual and they are negative, but they're engaging in very high-risk behaviors, we want to be able to do the risk reduction counseling. We want to be able to enroll them in other programming that is available in the community to help them develop better negotiation skills for condom use, better perhaps perception of themselves, particularly if they are a young African-American gay man, because there are a lot of conflicting messages about what that means. And so we are certainly encouraged by the increased availability, but our concern is around access, because of the things that Chris described, the things that I just mentioned, means that though the test may be available, it's not necessarily accessible to the individuals that need it the most.
One thing that both of you mentioned was stigma. Can you talk what does that mean? Help me. What does that mean when you say it may be harder for this person as opposed to another person to even talk about it? Mm-hmm. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, there's stigma around being gay, and there's stigma around HIV. And so the stigma around being gay is that it's viewed as a bad thing. It's viewed negatively, and so a lot of people, in order to some people cope with that by trying to hide who they are, hide the people that they love, the people that they sleep with, and they don't want other people to know about that. And the stigma around HIV is that it's a sick disease. It's going to kill you. If you have HIV, it's because you were doing something that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. And so, again, people normally don't want to be associated with anything that involves HIV, and so the HIV test, if you have to go into a pharmacy and ask someone to unlock the case in order to buy it, that could easily be a deterrent, because you don't want that person who's going to unlock the case to know that you may have been doing something that puts you at risk of contracting HIV.